Welcome to the K. Willis Positive Vibes Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the K. Willis Positive Vibes Podcast. K. Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show on 1580thepraise.com, a Gold Chip communication station. And I have back Jerome Mitchell. Jerome Mitchell is a world-class musician with over 25 years in the industry, having worked with the legendary artists such as Bernie Worrell, Bonnie Pointer, Barbra Harris and The Toys, Charlie Thomas and the Drifters, and Mtume. His career spans global performances in Japan, Paris, Italy, and Canada, as well as collaborations with major studios and labels like Atlantic Records and WB Records. Jerome has also contributed to commercial projects for brands like Bank of America and Ruby Tuesday. Deeply involved in the community initiatives, he has worked with the NAACP, United Way, and the Urban League. Based in the New Jersey, New York area, he continues to share his passion for music across the world. And guess what? If you guys didn't listen to last week, it was a lot of history. I mean, a lot of American history, Black history, and Cleveland history. Cleveland, Ohio, New York. I mean, I am honored to have my cousin, because Jerome Mitchell, you guys, this is my cousin. I'm honored to have him on my show. And like I told him on the last show, I'm going to say it again. You give people their flowers while they can smell them. So, I mean, my cousin has accomplished all of these things. And guess what? I'm going to give him his flowers now. Don't wait. And this is something for everyone. Don't wait until someone, can't hear them, you see what I'm saying? People wait until it's too late. Don't wait until it's too late. Give people their flowers now. So tell people you love them, you appreciate them, you care about them. If God put it on your heart to call someone, you do that now. Don't wait, because tomorrow ain't promised for none of us. We are all on a lease. So I just wanted to say that. So that's why I'm giving my cousin, he can smell these flowers, okay?
Yes, I can.
I'm so excited that he gets to share this history. And guess what? It's family history, too. So that's why it's another thing. This is my cousin. We are from Selma, Alabama. Shout out to Selma, Alabama. I've never been there before, but I said that I am going to go to Selma, Alabama. Shout out to the Smiths. I mean, our family is deep. When I tell you, when I be like, that's my cousin, and they be like, how is that your cousin? They really, this is blood on right now. This is my cousin. We have a huge family, and then we have a family of musicians. Now, I wish I could sing, okay? And, I can sing in the shower, and I know a song. I'm always, I know about music. But my family, they could sing, they could play instruments. It's just such a blessing. I mean, my mom, she could sing. My uncle would sing. My grandmother, Jerome, both his parents sing. We have a lot of family. Oh, wait a minute. We didn't tell you guys part one. We have a family get together, and we were doing it every Memorial Day, and then now it's more at Jerome's sister's house. So shout out Kim. It's my cousin.
That's right. It was the pandemic that held it back, but we starting back though.
Yes.
For Memorial Day. We're
going to start back Memorial Day? I'm learning something new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Memorial Day was like my mother's birthday.
Okay.
And through my mother's birthday, right before she was born, it was Memorial. She was born on Memorial Day. So as we was growing up as kids, instead of we come to as a family, we'll come together, eat, celebrate, and entertain each other.
Yes.
And I wasn't playing instruments then like that with the family. They really didn't know as a kid that I was pursuing music like that. Just, like when you're a kid, it's more like, well, okay, yeah, it's in the family. But I took it, and it wasn't that I ran with it. I just let God use me.
Yes.
And by him using me, he had me in these directions, and I fulfilled my assignments in them. And I look back at it and go, oh, my God, who would believe this? It's unbelievable. No, I did not come back with a Grammy, anything like that. I did get my name and on some music. I do have my name out there for myself. For as far as it being on a big stage, I don't know. I'll leave that to God.
Mm-hmm.
But I did do some good works. Like I was talking about on the part one.
Yes.
I was talking about Hank Ballard, and I could speed it up a little bit. Hank Ballard was a 1950 artist who had a hit record, and he was in the funk in the 50s, but they would not play his music on the radio, black people, because black people's music was forbidden to play on the radio. So they had to play in jukeboxes and clubs somewhere where it was, because it was called race records. So that my friend John Hill that I was telling you about that said, this is the band who ended up playing for Hank Ballard. So Hank Ballard was already 20 years in retirement or something like that. So I ended up being his bandman because he was coming back. He played with James Brown. He introduced James Brown to King Records. Hank Ballard, he wrote The Twist, the #1 hit record of the universe.
Come on, babe. Okay, let's do that. I told y'all I know about music. What year was that again, cousin?
Hank Ballard wrote The Twist in like 1956, but Chubby Checker redid it because of Dick Clark.
Okay.
Dick Clark told Chubby Checker the story. You can Google it. It's true that if you do this song, you're going to be famous for the rest of your life. And he did it because when Chubby Checker did The Twist, it really was another record that broke race. The black and white people came together to do music. But when Hank Ballard did it, even though he wrote it, it couldn't because they was so prejudiced that they would not play those songs, the race record. They called them race records. But when Chubby Checker did it, black and white people were able to dance again in America. To dance, not again, but to dance together for the first time in America to come together. So that's Hank Ballard. But I was blessed to play with Hank Ballard in Pittsburgh. And he introduced me to Bo Diddley. And I was on the stage and when I got to Pittsburgh, on the headliner, it was Hank Ballard and the Midnighters, Bo Diddley, the Shirelles, the Flamingos, the Drifters. The Coasters.
And that's so the Drifters, you worked with them, right?
That years later. That's how God was working.
Wow.
I worked with, he passed away 2 years ago. And his name was Charlie Thomas. He was an original drifter from the 56. So Hank Ballard, I get with Hank Ballard now. I'm like 21, 22. So that was great. I ended up moving to New Jersey through a group called Cameo. I was working with the Kinsman Dance Band. Remember the Kinsman Dance Band? Let it whip, whip it,
let
baby.
It whip it, baby. Whip
I was
it,
working
right?
I was working with one of the writers. His name was Michael Calhoun out of Cleveland, Ohio. And working with Mike in my band, same band. We couldn't get through because we was writing originals and we was coming through him, but Cleveland was not opening the door for us so we can get a record deal. So we ended up moving to Youngstown. My cousin plays keyboards. We moved to Youngstown with his father, and we ended up Cameo ended up liking what we were doing, and it was here we go again with another choice in life. Oh man, I was getting ready to go. I had signed up for computer management. This was all new. Wasn't no such thing as computer management. But I needed to do something at 21, 22, and music seemed like, oh man, I got to do something, you know. So I signed up and actually was supposed to start class in September. But this thing with my group, that Cameo wanted us to come to New Jersey. I'm the leader. The band is like, yeah, we want to. And I had to make another decision in life. I said, if I don't go, I'm going to be one of them people that be like, if I woulda, coulda.
And I'm glad that you, like you said, if you don't go, you have been one of those people who said would've, could've. So walk out on faith, not by sight. I'm glad you did that, cousin.
And
but
that's
wait a minute,
what my
Cameo.
mother was teaching me.
Ow, right? Ow.
Yeah, ow.
Okay.
Ow, word up.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead, cousin.
So got to New Jersey, and Tommy Jenkins was assigned to us. Tommy Jenkins was one of the singers. He was assigned to us. He was from New Jersey. So we get to New Jersey, and we in and out the studio trying to, get a record deal. But by me doing a little studying about the record business, because my mother was very conscious about this business.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw the contract, sounded good, $50,000, this and that, the bells and whistles. I took it to a lawyer. And I had 2 copies. My cousin took one to a lawyer. I took one to a lawyer. Both lawyers told us the same thing. It's not really a good contract. If they can change these 2 sentences right here, then you'll have a standard contract. Okay, all right. So I went back and I told the guy, oh, man, they don't want to do that. So I was not signing a contract. But I'm in New Jersey now.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have no money. We don't have no records. We don't have no income. So now we got to find somewhere to play while we're here. But these cats is trying to get me a signing contract, so whatever that deal was going to go down, it wasn't going to be in my favor.
Right.
And I saw that. So I went through a lot. They didn't kick me out the group. They wanted to. They tried their best to kick me out the group. I was feeling all kind of like I wasn't worthy, but I stuck in there. And then God sent me an angel, which was a female, and I ended up marrying that female too.
Okay.
But through that, but she's not my wife now. But
hold on one moment. You said you end up marrying the female. God sent you an angel. You end up marrying her.
Mm-hmm. But we ended up breaking up years later.
Aww.
So that's not my current wife. But my current wife that I have now, I've been knowing her ever since she was 2 years old. She was my last girlfriend before I went. That's a whole nother story, Kay. But
but little, you known her since she was 2. So a lot of people that, out there believing, I'm one of those people. So I'm one of them, speaking for myself. You never know how God going to orchestrate you to be with that person.
And that's what I told her when I left New Jersey, and here I am with her for 20 years now.
See? Look at that. Shout out Mrs. Mitchell. I follow her, too, on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And she's pastor, too, right?
Years. Huh?
She's minister?
Yep, she's minister with a doctor's degree.
Yes. Shout out. She's smart, too. Minister with a doctor's degree.
She studied to approve. Yes, she does.
Yes. So we're going to shout her out.
So through Cameo, through New Jersey, I got to meet Bernie Worrell. Bernie Worrell is a funkadelic.
Mm-hmm.
He's an original funkadelic for the keyboards. He wrote Flashlight. That's one of his biggest songs. And then you hear his song every day when you cut on the television. It goes. You hear this song, everybody, they play this all the time. But Bernie Worrell was one of the, he's a legend of funkadelic. George Clinton, when you look at George Clinton, it's George Clinton, Bootsy Collins, and Bernie Worrell, who wrote all the material to make funkadelic what it is. So when I moved to New Jersey, Bernie Worrell wanted me and my cousin. He didn't want the band. So next thing I know, I'm in his house. I'm all through the Village in New York when MTV first came out. So I'm in the Village with the I played on the stage with Billy Idol, the Ramones. I played at been at the Talking Heads rehearsals, the Tom Tom Club rehearsals. I met a lot of Rolling Stones. I met a lot of people being with Bernie Worrell and recording, and I learned a lot how to be a musician through Bernie. And that was and I was living in Plainfield, New Jersey, home of funkadelic. So till this day, the funkadelic, I'm a funkadelic.
Oh, cousin.
I did something with George Clinton and Bernie when Bernie got the key to the. I toured with Bernie when I first got there, so I toured, and that's how I met Bonnie Pointer. Mm-hmm. So Bonnie Pointer's husband, he was a producer who produced Bandico by Frida Payne. He did Dance Machine by Jackson. He also wrote He also wrote Shaky Ground with the Temptations. So I'm in the house with Bonnie Pointer. She got a mansion. They give me their key. They trust me with the key to their mansion, you know, through my journey with Bonnie Pointer. That's how I met her through Bernie. Through Bernie, I got to do a lot of projects for Atlantic Records. That's how I got through Atlantic Records. We did a project. We did a couple of projects at a lot of projects over at Atlantic Records. And through Bernie helping me and teaching me how to be a musician, because that's what he was. And so I started dibbling to write my own material. So here we're going into the 90s. So I'm all up in Atlantic Records. So me and my cousin, because we met people and how God worked, we ended up doing this project for gangster rap with MC Hammer. And nobody ever heard of gangster rap. So we up in Atlantic Records at night, oh man, cutting records. Then it worked out like it did.
So you went from Funkadelics to gangster rap. MC Hammer, is that Oakland?
Yep.
Oakland, California. I know.
Oh, but I didn't go to Oakland. It was actually, the project actually came to Atlantic Records when we met Bernie. Bernie is a hired session musician. So being a musician, not just playing on stage, I wanted the whole thing. I wanted to be a session musician, to play on people's records, you know, and get paid that way, as well as playing on stage with famous people and traveling all over the world. So God blessed me with those reasons. So being with Bernie, I ended up being at Atlantic Records, met some friends from Detroit. We going up there, we just cutting. We don't know what artists we cutting for, but the opportunities, you got to seize it.
Right, yes.
But then we learned about, you know, not getting paid. You know, I learned about not getting paid. You got to learn how to get paid. There's a whole lot with that. And you got to trust God and have faith, and it doesn't come that easy without consequences.
Absolutely.
So, I didn't know that. I was just going for it. Next thing I know, you know, I got a name for myself. People was calling me to come do recording sessions. So, MC Hammer, that gangster rap was one of them. There wasn't no such thing as gangster rap. But that whole thing went kind of crazy because MC Hammer went bankrupt. Then he got the money back again. Then the project, but we was up there cutting still. We did get some money. I still got the check stubs.
I know, that's right. Still got the receipts, okay?
But then I'm meeting more people. I mean, living in Plainfield, you know, it was a lot to the journey. So I want to say some key things that I did because, you know, dragging the story out. So one of the key things I met this producer, a lot of them. But this one particular producer I met, he was producing this girl group called Total.
Oh, okay. Total under Bad Boy? Okay.
He was producing Total before Bad Boys. So these girls that they were putting together, I was a little older than them at the time. I was like in my 30s. But my name was ringing out to be, you know, with this guy. I was been doing a lot of work with this guy. And he put Total together. But I was a session musician for the original material. Then one of them happened to know Missy Elliott, and through Missy, they ended up with Bad Boy. But they didn't bring us along. They didn't use my friend. They kind of dumped them. That's how the business was. It's kind of like, you know, woo-wee. It's like kind of like that. It's like the lottery.
Right.
So they didn't take my friend, which means I would have went. So he got discouraged behind that, but he kept going. So while he kept going, we still was doing work for I still was recording for artists. So next thing I know, Bobby Brown is up in the building.
Bobby Brown
is up in the building. So I ended up hanging out with Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston's brother, Michael.
Wow.
So now I'm at Whitney Houston's studio. I got receipts. I recorded with Mario. Remember Mario? Mario Winans, he worked with Bad Boys at one time.
Oh yeah, that's Vicky. What's it?
Yeah, Vicky Winans.
Vicky Winans' son.
Vicky Winans. I got a son. So I recorded with him, and projects with him. I did some stuff for Whitney where I got her name when she signed the check.
Oh, that's so awesome.
For me.
How was that working with Whitney?
Well, I didn't see Whitney. It was her company. It wasn't a particular artist. I don't know what artist it really was, Kay.
Okay.
Because this business kind of like, secret squirrel,
yes.
You don't know. So,
you'll play something, and the next thing you know, you're like, "Oh, that's my song. That's me." And yeah.
Mm-hmm. With your name not on the credit, but
Come on.
some of them you have to know how to do the paperwork. You have to know the business too, because you could be all over the record and it'll be somebody else's name. If you don't know the business, you will lose out on what's going on in it. And in the 80s and the 90s it was cricket.
Yeah, that was really big. What was that one lady? She's always sing. She was kind of heavyset though. They didn't want her on it. Dad. It was a real big song in the 90s. But yeah, she was a heavyset lady, and they didn't want her music, so they had on the videos.
Oh, you talking about Marsha Wash?
Yes.
Okay, now let me take you back to my journey. Remember in my part one of our conversation? Mm-hmm. I told you I played the Cougar Lounge, and I had a manager. My mother wouldn't let me, but I got the chance to meet the girls that was called 2 Tons of Fun.
Yes.
And you said, I never heard of them. And I said, they're the Weather Girls.
The Weather Girls. Mm-hmm. It's raining men.
Marsha Wash is the Weather Girl.
Oh, see, look at that. Look how that fools. See? Come on now.
So Marsha Wash is the Weather Girl. She's one of them. She's one. So she had this hit song that got, Everybody,
yep, that was real big in the 90s.
It was,
that was that. They used, yes, thank you, cousin.
So, I was around that. I was with the producer. I was up in the studio while he was playing me the track. He wanted me to do the guitar on it, but paperwork and all that, you don't know what's going on. I didn't know how to do it that way that time. I was just, the opportunity was there, but I remember that time. And same the big guy with Total. That was producing Total. They was in the same building. So my friend Norman, he was younger, but this guy that was doing that thing with Marsha Wash at that time that record came, he was actually recording that with her in this building. And I would always hang out with him. Did I play guitar? If I can remember, I know I did, because I wouldn't have been there if I, and he wanted me to. And then from there, I ended up doing the gangster rap, right? Did some gangster rap. Then I ended up. It's a lot in between that still got a lot to do with music. So I ended up with this group called Valerie Adams and the Dimension Band. And Valerie Adams and the Dimension Band is also BT Express. Here comes the Express. The Express. So they had a couple of hit records in the 70s, but they also go under the name of Valerie Adams and Dimension Band. I was playing with them for 7 years. I went to Japan with them.
Okay, that's how you got to Japan.
I went to Japan as BT Express with them. I went to Alaska twice with them. I went to, I did NAACP conventions, the international and the national convention with them. The Urban League, the Jerry Lewis telethons. I played on cruise ships where we did this one cruise ship. It was like Carnival Cruise.
Okay.
I did about 6 of them with them. I played on the islands with them where it was Kool and the Gang. It was Hugh Masekula, Bobby Caldwell, Maxie Priest.
Wow.
I was on there with Drew Hill. I've been on shows with Drew Hill, Shanice,
I love your smile.
Bobby Jones. I've been on some stages with a lot of people. And then as the saga went on with them, with Valerie Adams, and I traveled all over the United States. And so with Valerie Adams, I went to another group that dealt with Africa, Madagascar. It was like 2002. I started doing this. African lady wanted me, and I didn't understand. I felt like she couldn't pay me the money at that time. I was making pretty good money, and I figured, she couldn't pay me the money. But then she kept calling me, and I gave her some guitar players. No, okay, you can really stop calling me. She don't get the hint. I sent her a couple of guitar players, and she called me back and told me, I like the guitar players, but Jerome, look, I don't think you see the picture. I'm coming around. I'm coming, and I'm looking all around the world for the baddest, and she used some other terms with that. And I went, really? She said, I'm looking for the baddest musicians to work with me. And I was like, okay, let me see what she's talking about. Because I did a whole year of dodging her. And she still was persistent. Man, the best move I could have did was wait it out, and I jumped on with her. Oh, my God. I learned how to play African music.
Wow.
I started learning. I went to Paris twice. I went to Milan, Italy.
Come on,
I was all up in Canada doing world music. That's how I ended up doing the commercials for Ruby Tuesday, the Triple Prime Burger. I got receipts.
Yes,
because
receipts.
Because one thing
I love receipts. That's one thing about me. I love receipts. I'm gonna give somebody receipts. So I love. Come on now. I love that's in the genes. That gotta be in the genes. Now also,
I got receipts.
You got receipts. Now, cousin, before we end this, just real quick, I just want you to give a tip, just a motivation for someone out there. I know before you said don't give up, have faith. Just one small note of motivation for someone out there trying to get in the music industry.
Well, my advice to you, if you want to be in the music business, it's a business first, and you have to treat it as such, and it's not, and you have to give it to God.
Yeah,
because He's the only one that's gonna make the way for you. And if you give it to the devil, he's gonna make it like you really was that. But there's consequences, and you can actually see if you really paying attention to the music industry, you see the ones that give it to the devil. But if you give it to God, it will be a successful journey for you as a musician. And working hard, studying, learn the business, and really devote your time to really find out who you are. And if this is what you really want to do, go for it. And trust me, everything that you thought that you was going to get is going to be magnified by 20.
Thank you.
My conversation today, I'm rushing, but it do not. Trust me. I thank God every day for giving me this gift.
Yes.
And I pursue it, and I stayed true to it because I'm 67 years old and I'm still healthy.
Come on now, and still performing. And the word says, "Let your gift make room for you." So thank you for allowing your gift to make room for you. This is my cousin. I love that we are from Selma, Alabama, and we love the Lord. That's one thing.
Right.
If you don't get that from us, it's already in us. But my cousin, how can we reach you? I know you said on the last episode on YouTube, Jerome Mitchell.
Yes.
Jerome Mitchell Facebook. On you and Facebook. So you can get my cousin.
Jerome Mitchell 1.
Jerome Mitchell 1 on Facebook. And then yes, go ahead, cuz.
And I'm working on it, Kay. I'm looking at a website and how I'm gonna build everything as I'm building because I'm doing it by myself, so I really have no help.
Well, no. Now that you said that, we're gonna help you out. But once again, if you guys wanna we need sponsors. So you guys can reach us at K Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show at gmail.com. And yes, once again, like Jerome said, get it with them on Jerome Mitchell 1 on Facebook, YouTube. And if you guys can help, we will love the help. Thank you for tuning in to the K Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show on 1580thepraise.com, a Gold Chip communication station. Please like, share, and subscribe to the K Willis Positive Vibes podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the K Willis Positive Vibes podcast. Please order my book, The Principles of Overcoming Life's Obstacles, a 31-day journey to positive living, available on Amazon.com. Until next time, stay positive.